How's it going, guys? Welcome to another episode of Nick versus Art. Today I'm going to do a comparison between the Fujifilm SQ6 and the Fujifilm SQ10. Now, I got a couple of questions when I did the unboxing of the SQ6, and I really should have spent a little bit more time talking about it. Now, this camera is an analog camera, so it doesn't have any digital components to it where you would be able to do any kind of like post processing or anything of that sort to it. I mean, every photo you take is that's the photo. That's pretty much it. Now, one of my coworkers wanted me to talk a little bit more about like the modes and everything that it has. So on the back here, you're going to see there's a bunch of little dots across the top. I don't know if you can see it very well or not, but there's a few dots on there. Now, what those dots do is it basically shows you what mode you're in. Now, when it comes to modes, it's going to have like an automatic mode. It'll have a selfie mode, macro, landscape, dual exposure, and then there's light and dark. So with all those modes, I mean, you can do some pretty artistic stuff with it. The other thing that it's going to be able to do is you can shut your flash off, and it does have a self timer. So with all those different settings, I mean, again, this is still one of my favorite cameras that I've gotten. Now, the SQ10, this camera, there's not a lot of information on it online. I mean, like a lot of people didn't purchase this camera just because I think people are kind of scared of the whole digital hybrid thing. Personally, I think it's an excellent camera. I actually I prefer this camera over a lot of the other ones that I have. Now, to do a complete comparison of these two, there's a couple key features that I wanted to go over. Now, like I said, the SQ10 is a digital camera versus an analog camera. So that allows you on the SQ10 to edit your photos before you print them. It allows you to add filters, all sorts of cool stuff. The SQ6 does not. Now, to me, I like the ability to edit stuff, but I've always been a big fan of analog, and that's really the reason why I got into instant photography. Now, the second difference between these two is the SQ6 is going to take a CR2 battery. So it's these weird little circle batteries. You can find them pretty easy, but they're not the most common battery to find. Like if you went into like a gas station or something like that, they're not going to have those batteries, but they may have double A's. Now, the SQ10 is going to use a removable rechargeable battery. Now, the reason why I say removable is because a lot of things these days, such as cell phones and tablets, a lot of that kind of equipment isn't removable. So I like that because if the battery starts to go bad, something of that sort, I can always replace the battery. And if I wanted to buy extra just in case, I'm not, out of luck on that. And to give the stats between the two, it's actually kind of funny. The SQ6 can do 300 shots on a single set of batteries. So brand new pack of batteries, pop it in there, you'll get 300 shots out of it. Now the SQ10, this will do 160 shots on a charge. So that's why my Instax Mini 70, that camera, I've never replaced the batteries in it, and I thought it was just because maybe, I don't know, I got lucky or something, but it's actually because the batteries last a very, very long time on these two. Now, as I was talking earlier about the digital filters you can do on the SQ10, the only real filters that you get with the SQ6 are little flash filters, and they're actually kind of cool. I was a little impressed with it. They fit over your flash, and it's like a little piece of plastic that just snaps on, and it gives your photos a different color. I'll have to post one of my pictures up that I took a Fluffy that I accidentally left the red on when I was taking a normal photo outside, and he's got like bright red eyes, and all the white on his fur is red. Now, the next difference between these two is the focus range. So the SQ6 is going to have a focus range where you set it to selfie mode, it's going to be in that kind of focus. You set it in macro, it's going to be in that kind of focus. The SQ10 is autofocus. So this camera is going to adjust based on what you're taking a picture of. It's a little bit different, similar to what your cell phone's going to do and what your digital cameras do. The next one would be the ISO. The SQ6 has an 800 ISO, as well as pretty much all the Fujifilm Instax cameras have, because it's based on the film. The SQ10, this one has 100 through 1600. So this one's going to be able to take better shots in bright light situations and dark situations. Now, I kind of don't like using that kind of comparison, because there are certain things that you can do with the SQ6 that would make it easier to take photos in, you know, brighter situations and darker situations with this camera. So it's kind of a weird number to compare. Now, another difference between these two is the SQ10. This camera, if you take a photo, that photo is permanently on your SD card unless you delete it. So if I want to make more copies of that photo, it doesn't matter. I can keep printing them out, and I'll never, you know, have to stop. With the SQ6, that one photo is it. But that's actually one of the things that I find a lot of fun about the Instax cameras, and I'm sure everyone's heard me say before that it's one of those things that makes your photos unique. You're not mass producing photos. You're not doing anything of that sort. Now, other than that, size wise, they're both, I mean, you can see they're both pretty similar to each other. Weight wise, I want to say they're very similar to each other. I mean, other than that, that's pretty much a quick little overview of them. Now, if you guys have any other questions about them, go ahead and shoot them down into the comments, or I'll post something on Instagram so you guys can comment. Other than that, have a wonderful evening, guys. I hope you liked the review and the comparison. So I'll see you next time. I'm going to try to do videos on Sundays. It seems to be the best time for me to do the videos, just because I work Monday through Saturday, and Sundays sometimes I work. So it just really depends. And Saturdays, actually, I could record, but a lot of the times I'm off, you know, doing adventures and whatnot. I do have to take photos at some point. So yeah, I think Sundays will be the day that I'm doing that. And I've got some pretty cool stuff coming up soon. So keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys next time.